you're friends with Glenn Morales, right?
Yeah.
So there's a rumor going around that he doesn't believe that Deadpool should be in the MCU. I mean, what do you have to say about that?
With the current Fox merger with Disney, it's gonna happen anyways. So I mean, Glenn can continue with his opinions, but it's gonna happen. He just has to deal with it. He'll be fine.
Well, as a matter of fact, Glenn, if you're watching this, you have to get your facts checked immediately. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, guys? And welcome back to another.
Hey.
You're on the show?
Yeah.
How do you get on the show?
I don't know, but I'm back again.
All right, fine. I guess we're cool with that. Fish and Films movie reviews. I'm Matt Fish Fiscioni.
I'm Frank Romero.
And I'm Glenn Morales.
And welcome to the one and the only talk show where we talk, review, and recommend movies. Thank you all for joining us for yet another episode. Guys, Frank is back on the show, and we have yet another guest. Please welcome to Fish and Films, the one and only Glenn Morales. Welcome so much to my show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yep. I got one question for you. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Off the top of my head, I'm going to say Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. I never heard of that. What was it about?
It is a movie from the early 2000s, a Japanese film, so it's primarily seen with subtitles. But if you've ever heard of the premise of Hunger Games, it's essentially the same thing, but it came out a little bit before. So it's a bunch of kids are trapped on an island that went to school together, and they have to fight to the death. But the really interesting kind of like cinematic element to the movie is you don't know who's going to win, and it follows each of their perspectives. So you kind of gain favorite characters and hope that they're going to come out on top, and it's a thrill ride.
Nice. Well, this is something I need to check out, but I do have one more thing before we have to get started because I want to know. Frank wants to know. The viewers of D News Network, they want to know. The viewers of Fish and Films, they want to know so badly. Why don't you like Deadpool so much, man? What is your problem with the murk of the mouth? Do you have a problem with the MCU? Do you have a problem with Ryan Reynolds? Are you disrespecting my boy, Ryan Reynolds? What is up? What is your problem with Deadpool? Why don't you think he belongs in the MCU?
I've been waiting on this one. I knew it was going to come. So I think that Deadpool's great. Love Ryan Reynolds. Love both movies. The way that his comedy works in his movies feels very centralized. I don't know if it fits the aesthetic of the MCU.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
I'll hang back on this one.
I'll
wait till it happens.
Yeah,
because I know it's coming.
We'll wait till it happens because obviously it is going to happen. But what is going to happen right now is we're going to talk about some upcoming movies. And there is a trailer that actually came out a couple of days ago, and that is the brand new ScoobyDoo movie, which is actually called Scoobs.
In a world destroyed by evil, discover the epic origin story of the greatest team of heroes in the history of mystery. Not bad.
Nailed it!
Frank, what do you have to think about the new Scooby-Doo movie?
I think from just being a big fan of ScoobyDoo and the pup named ScoobyDoo show they used to go on, the fact that they're starting it from like them as kids till now, I think is a great way to start off basically introducing it to another generation. So just watching the trailer seems like a lot of fun.
This mangy stray's coming with me.
He's not a stray.
Okay then, what's his name?
His name's Scooby.
Middle name?
Doobie?
Last name?
Do.
And Glenn, I'm not sure if you saw this as a kid, but a pup named Scooby-Doo was a big part of my childhood.
Oh, yeah.
And do you think that it's going to have a similarity to, the show and to the movie, or what?
So something that's kind of funny is A Pup Named Scooby-Doo is actually my favorite of the Scooby-Doo TV shows, and
Nice.
Scooby-Doo is my favorite cartoon of all time. I grew up with it
Nice.
as a kid. Kind of like what Frank had mentioned, this is a different iteration, for a new generation. I'm loving the art style that they've applied to it, because I feel like something they do with all the Scooby-Doo products is they kind of give them a unique style. So this one's going to be really interesting to see. Also, voice cast seems phenomenal. They got like Zac Efron in there. It looks like it's
Really?
going to be a lot of fun.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, definitely.
It sounds really good. And, obviously it's going to come out next summer, I think?
I believe so.
All right, cool. Well, definitely check that out, Scoobs, next summer. But, guys, for the first time, we are not actually going to review a movie because Disney Plus just launched, and one of their main shows that they launched is the first ever Star Wars live action TV series, and that is The Mandalorian. Glenn, when we saw it together, I remember you telling me it didn't feel like a Star Wars show. It felt more of like a West Side Story. Can you go further into that?
Yeah. In terms of it feeling like a Western, there's a lot of elements to the show that it's kind of like gunslinger, Wild Wild West. You're seeing a more raw, gritty side of Star Wars, which isn't. We got that a little bit in Rogue One.
Yeah.
But it's kind of imbuing some of the stuff from whether it's the prequels, the sequels, original trilogy, the practical effects, all that kind of wrapped into a show. I feel like it's a really good venue for Star Wars, because that anthology type series that they've been working with, it pretty much is the same, but we're getting it every week, which is so awesome.
Nice. Frank, what do you have to say about The Mandalorian?
Same thing with like how Glenn just said. I think that the fact that it's not a conventional Star Wars like show is the coolest thing ever. It just seems like a Western with like aliens in it and like sci-fi.
Absolutely.
And after just the first episode, you can see the direction it's going in, so I just can't wait to watch more.
Yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but when I saw, like episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and then The Empire Strikes Back, I felt like both Jango Fett and Boba Fett, I felt like they were such very underrated characters. Like, I felt like they had a lot of potential, but the same way, they got killed off way too soon. I felt like with The Mandalorian, it's kind of like not necessarily paying homage, but kind of like resurrecting, like what exactly The Mandalorian is. What do you guys expect for the upcoming season 1?
That's a good question.
I think that we're going to continue to get a lot of this more like dark side of Star Wars. Just because even the lighting, the cinematography, the score, which we were talking about, is incredible.
Yeah.
Everything seems like it's kind of catered to an older Star Wars fan base, which is really cool because
Absolutely.
all of the fans that grew up with that as kids are obviously now adults, and they're getting to continue that journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Frank, for me, it kind of feels like more of a independent film, more so than like a Hollywood-esque kind of thing that we've been getting for numerous years. What do you have to think about that?
I think that it's not going to be considered like a Hollywood spectacle because it's trying to get to the basis of like everything without the lightsabers, the Force, like Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, like those things aren't going to be in the show because this is supposed to be more of like a reality, quote unquote, like base thing. Absolutely. So that not necessarily being a spectacle makes it way more entertaining for me because it's just a Western, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
With aliens.
And, something that I'm not sure you guys are aware, but they're already starting filming on season 2. So we're definitely going to get that for sure.
That's awesome.
And with that, I'm going to give The Mandalorian a 9 out of 10 so far for season 1. Glenn, what would you have to give the first episode?
First episode alone, I'm giving an 8, but with that score, jump into a 9.5.
Nice. Frank, what about you?
Because I'm a biased Star Wars fan, and I love me some helmets and guns. All of it, every single thing, it's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Wow.
Automatically.
Now, one more thing before we end today's episode. Do you guys believe that in the end of the series, the Mandalorian will take off his helmet?
Ooh. I guess because we know who the actor is under the helmet, Pedro Pascal, I really want to see if that changes his performance. Obviously he's so daunting with the mask on. But I kind of want to see, if they say that line that they never take their masks off. I think it'd be a really cool reveal if that's how they end the first season.
Nice. Frank, what about you?
Basically piggybacking off what Glenn just said, the actor in it, he was in Game of Thrones, if I'm correct. Yeah, him with a helmet on, he still sounds like a great actor. Like, you could just hear his voice, but just through the motions of his body, you could just tell, like, he's good at what he does. Even if he doesn't take off his mask until, like, the second season, wouldn't really bother me. Hopefully he does, though.
Mandalorian, look outside. They are waiting for you. Yeah? Good.
So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you get Disney Plus, and the first thing that is recommended by all of us is definitely The Mandalorian, because on that note, we are all out of time. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Matt Fiscioni, he's Frank Romero, and he is Glenn Morales. And tune in for our next episode of the Fish and Films Movie Reviews! Woo!